Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you, Mr. A?
Tomorrow, you know.
No tiripo. Yeah, ndetwa Samaita Junior.
All right.
Ndainvite
Where are you?
kuna Mukoma Masimba. Ndiripo zvangu ina mino makadinei.
Okay. Where are you from? Where are you calling from?
Yeovil, England, Somerset.
Oh, perfect.
Uh,
So we are going live shortly. We have 1 minute.
Okay. It's cool.
All right.
Tinge chunguona chinzwa kuti zvekufamba sei. It's my first time kuuya munomu.
Oh, it's your first time?
Yeah.
But have you been watching?
I've never watched there, but Masimba has been talking about it for a while. Saka zvine zvanditumidzira link yachona direct nandati okay, I might as well go and see how everything goes.
All right.
Yeah.
And where is Mukoma Masimba?
He said he's on his way because ndiyabva ndipa link ine izvozvi so.
All right.
Yeah. He's
I
on his way
see.
kuuya kunoko. I'm ngari pa live but apedza about half an hour ago.
How was it?
It was good. It was all right. It's coming up well.
So
And a big
what
change.
do you think needs to be done to improve it?
Say that again.
What do you think needs to be done?
I think there isn't much that we can do. He has to do something. He just has to stick to program. What he's doing now is working. I can focus on it. I get consistent. And then never aftercare. But in good hands. But by aftercare about where is he going? Anenge achidzokera masame social circles here. Is he going to keep himself busy? I think keeping himself busy is good. Kuwana basa rake tangisa patsva, then different social circles. I think zvinokwanisa kumubatsira izvozvo. But power rachona rakawanda asi maoko medu riri maoko make iye. Willpower yachona iri maari. He has to find it in within himself.
Okay, and what are people saying? Is he sick or is playing it up?
Well, for now, people know that he's gone through a rough patch and it like inini kwandiri inini I wouldn't see it as kunge like kunge munhu akaroiwa munhu ari kupenga nditi but ndoona kunge madrugs akangowandawo ka ezvinezvi akudetoxa aniti kune mawithdrawal symptoms aenda through and the like zvokutizvo akaroiwa akaita seka tinge takutozona after kana abuda muhospital adischargwa but ezvinezvi kwandiri nini Nigrini, he's coming back and anobvira ndamboona kuti ndingatizvo akapenga zvekurasa but
timapenzi tese simba masimba timapenzi sendai mari
hello jananga staura.
So there was some
sorry, my mistake.
All right, so you can go ahead, Mukoma Masimba, your live.
Thank you very much. I've got my very good brother here. I invited him here, and Mr. Mawe, I've put you $100 from Norman Ngwenya. Remember, he promised yesterday. Yeah, he's going to send the money to my account. I'll forward it to you soon.
All right, no problem.
Then I also, on that $100, I've also paid $30 for my brother here, Sydney Samaita. I just said to my brother, I'm going to pay for it. So he wants to know what is this all about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you can ask the questions.
Who, me?
Yeah, you are the person under the spotlight. You are the person of the day.
Well, inini, I cannot. I don't see myself ndichitanga kufaya my questions and explain it and first you would help, and first if you would help me, kutoti zvo mundiudze mimi kutoti zvo, and again, what is this about? What do you and what are you representing? My goals aripo ada kuachievwa, etc etc, then maybe ndokwanisa kutanga kuona ma-questions, because zvine zvinhu angofanana nemwana
Okay.
class
In fact,
grade one.
we can start from what is fact, what is fiction.
Okay.
You exist as a matter of fact. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a fact.
When you have two or more people, do they exist as a matter of fact? Can you collapse their thinking into one?
Yes, that is a fact.
Can you collapse the three of us into one mind?
Can I collaborate?
Collapse
into one mind.
Yeah.
I think that we can always work as, and we can always think as individuals, but put our ideas together to make it one idea, but not we can necessarily have same thinking, same capacity, different capacities. Zvinhu zvinokonzerwa nema-different backgrounds, kukura kwedu kwatakaita, ma-walks life, patikugara ezvino present. Saka we can never be the same, but we can work towards one.
So, yeah, do you agree that right now Mukoma Masimba has got people who follow him?
Yes, yes, I do agree, and I know that I've known that as a fact for a long time, not to Tanganas.
Okay, do you also agree that the people who follow him are not organized into any community, any coherent voice?
Well, that I wouldn't know. If I'm to answer that, there will be based on an assumption. I don't know the facts. I've never.
But are you organized yourself into a community that tells you tomorrow we are going to be talking about this, then the day after we are going to be talking about that?
Can you rephrase your question, please?
I'm saying you as an individual.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience of you being in an organized structure to be able to deal with the daily problems of life?
Oh yes. Yes, I am. And I've been for a while.
Which organization do you belong to?
In any I do, like kutifanga kana kuri kuno England kuno, and ndosenza nema charity organizations anobatsira ma homeless people. And
no, I'm saying an organization that you belong to. Is there anyone?
Yes, I do.
Which one is that?
Your view.
Okay, how many members do you have?
We're about like 57 of us.
And who is the president of that or chairman of that organization?
Well, and my founder members are generally about like 4 or 5, and they're about 4 or 5.
Okay, and who is the chairman?
And right now it's just still a new, it's new board, and it. Saga, hold on, didn't know.
All right. So, 10 days.
So
he has a great following that can benefit so much from his experiences and knowledge. He is an asset to our community, potential for stabilizing a new narrative of culture and diversity. That's Tendes. Do you agree with Tendes, Pamaita?
With Tendes, I do agree with him. so far
No, zvanyora noti zvawakanzwa.
awa ndikutaura kuti zvandakanzwa achitaura iye so far, like kuti madebate machi because inini ndiri one wemadministrator wekumvenge ka, saka mvenge kunoitwa malive akawanda stereki, ndiri one wemadministrators ikoko, saka ndinomboaona ndinombopinda imomo ndichinzwa madebate anenge vachiita. I've seen ndakaona basa rake rakaita, passion yake akasenzesa, commitment yake yakasenzesa pana Mukoma Masimba. I do agree, but I cannot say I agree with all because I've not actually sat down with him ndichinatsomunzwa iye zvaanenge achifunga.
No, I'm just asking zvanyora.
Zvanyora papi? Hapana pandiona
panyora pa message iri pa screen on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or whatever it is. So let me read what he has said so that we can talk to what somebody has written. Yeah. He says of Mukoma Masimba, he has a great following that can benefit so much from his experiences and knowledge. Do you agree with that statement?
Oh, yes, 100%.
All right. Number 2, he is an asset to our community. His potential for stabilizing a new narrative of culture and diversity.
100%.
All right. So what Mukoma Masimba is saying, how best can we convert what Tenders is saying into an organized group where we can call ourselves something? So we had called it C2C, converting an individual like Tenders into a community that includes Samaita, wherever you are. That COVID has allowed us to become into one community where we can just know each other and be able to have structured conversations and learn one question at a time. Whether it's depression, whether it's land, whether it's whatever it is that you may come up with, that we are now structured. And because of social media, you now know who Tenders is, but you didn't know him.
Yes, I do know him as a person. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, but because of this technology that is now available, we can be able to meet at one platform and be able to draw lessons from each other, draw insights from each other. So the first thing, Samaita Junior, is that your name or Mtupo?
Samaita is my Mtupo.
What is your name?
Sydney.
Sydney who?
Mescano.
All right. And can you tell us about yourself?
All right. And Sydney. Mescano, ndakakurira kuHarare, ndakazvarwa kuHarare. I'm 45, single. I live in Yeovil, Somerset, England. Do not sense I'm social health care. I work with vulnerable adults. I love football. I love socializing, etc., etc. And the rest. No, that's
the first thing is just to know each other. Yeah. And then from there, that's the purpose of this C2C, that let's convert connections just to know your name. Okay. Your given names, your saying name, you never know who is who. Sometimes you forget who was on air and you are embarrassed to ask the person, and maybe sometimes that person may not reveal again to you.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah. Then let's go building food. You say building a community is well and good until some people try to benefit from the goodwill of others. Social media has made it possible for people to connect for free. Then there is obviously when you do something, there are some people who see even a government as a benefit, not as a vehicle. There are some people who are always negative about anything. They are suspicious, superstitious. So a point is being made that let's be animals. Let's know each other without organization. Have you ever seen a church that is not organized?
Not totally. I've seen one. I cannot say I've seen one.
Even football that is not organized. You go to a football match, you pay nothing, and you get good football. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Actually,
Well,
yes.
what
I've
kind
seen
of football is that? Imagine you go to the Premier League and you don't
money
pay.
game. Money game.
But money game produces.
Off season. You can get my players and tamba Premier League. Achida kumboflexa. Vanobatanidzana vakamixana manje zvinezvi. And then they put money, they do a show for people. I'm just saying from from my upbringing point of view. Because I was born and bred in the ghetto. That's what we used to do in the ghetto. No one and not everyone could afford to go and pay my national sports stadium and watch football. Kasatopoya maizongo waonochi iko kuna na stoda to vabvisirana mari papeya money game kana kuti tichitotamba izvo.
All right. So do you agree that anything that is costless is expensive?
Not really. Partly, but not all the way.
All right.
Because kune zvimwe zvinhu zvakafanana nekunigriga and to be kind doesn't cost anyone any money or anything. You should just be kind. I don't know if you get my example.
Okay.
You don't have to pay someone to be kind to you.
No, I'm saying, do you agree that organization requires people to administer that organization?
Yes, that bit I agree, but the way that you had put it,
maybe I may have put it differently. That's what Mukoma Masimba is saying. Let us not feel pity for him.
Yeah.
Let us all work together.
Oh yes, I need Mukoma Masimba. I've never felt pity for him. Like even when we have a one-to-one chats, when we talk, like, I'm always straightforward. Ga. Ndonomuda opinion yangu. I don't mean that my opinion is always right. And the ear yake anotaura hapana pekuti ndongozviti all the time just because he said it is right. If I feel like I see right, tinoita debate. We talk about it. All time affects per table.
Hello, just hold on. Is that Simba Java?
Yes, it's Mrs. Java. Problem.
Hey.
Madi.
It's Mawere.
Oh, yes, Mr. Mawere, how are you?
How are you? I got Mukoma Masimba who wanted to add you into this conversation.
Because we have decided to say our live streaming, we can do it at 8 p.m.
All right. Okay, but now you can just greet him and then you just talk about yourself.
Okay. Now, why can't you do it when I've got enough data? Also that we just run it because now but if you can send me data, then we can then I can do it. Then because on my side also I'll be out some cash when I don't have much data.
You don't have much data?
Yeah.
And which network are you?
MTN.
Or MTN?
Yeah.
So you need data or airtime. You can data is more important to you for now.
Yeah, data. You can send 1 gig.
Okay.
Sure.
So, all right.
Then we can run it now. Yes.
Okay. But you wanted to run it at 8 p.m.
That was he was saying, but you can reconfirm the time. We can even do it now. But if you can just send me data, then we can run it now.
All right. Okay. So let me just check with him.
Okay, sure.
Mukoma Masimba.
Hi, Mr. Mawere.
Yeah. All right. I got Java. He says he needs data to be live. And Food says money doesn't matter. What is your take? What lesson do you learn from Simba?
Well, Simba, I've been trying to get hold of Simba for a long time. And unfortunately, Simba, are you there?
No, Simba says he needs data to communicate. So before I send him data, I wanted your take, because Mfudzi Ariguti, you don't need money. And Simba is saying, I want to be part of the conversation, but I don't have data.
That's fine. For now, we can just, he can participate on the phone, Mr. Mwere. I think that's better that way for now.
No, I'm saying is that do you think he must get data, because data is important in life? And he's just saying, look, guys, I need data. It's not that I don't want to be part of this conversation. Do you think it's important to give him data so that he is part of this conversation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mukufunza nini? Ndikupindure.
Mukoma Masimba, there are people who have a different mindset that no, money is not important. But right now, this person is saying, I need data. And I'm not fighting anyone. But I need data. Mukoma Masimba, can you help me with data? And you are in the hospital.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are people who have a different mindset. He said he wants 1 gig so that he can be able to communicate. And if it was your own money, Mukoma Masimba, what would you do? Would you give him this money so that he can talk to us? Or you say, go to hell, like what Mfudzi is saying?
Well, I would give him a chance, and I think I was going to pay for his data, just that I'm on the show right now. Yep, I was
I'm
going to
just saying, don't you think that it's important for us to provide for people who have something to say, but they don't have data, as a matter of fact? Yeah?
Can I help Mukoma Masimba to answer that one?
go
Go ahead.
He is like struggling with it. Basically, I think kuti ndopa example yekuti yakafanana nekuti zvo pamunoshamwaridzana pamunofananidzana and pakufambidzana kwevanhu paya pane imwe time yekuti zvo vanhu vanotoita kuti hande kuclub hande kubawa. Not everyone anenge ane mari, not everyone anenge atambira. Nemumwe musi wakaonawo chiika pamafriends ako ipapo, kana pane munhu anenge ane maextra unokwanisa kuwana hwana anokusumudziwa kuti chi no, let's go, ndonokutengerawo. Asi kana pasinawo munhu anenge ane mari yachona haungafoseredza kuti uende kubhawa ka unotanga kunokuti chi nikeni wakunotanga kunokumbira vanhu doro ravo wakunetsa vanhu ikoko.
No, in this case, the person who invited him to the show was Mukoma Masimba. And Simba is saying, I don't have data, but I want to be there. I got the time. Isn't that what the community is all about? To help each other.
Ndoke kana iripo kamari yacho.
Even if somebody else may have it.
Okay, but I thought this question was directed kuna Masimba.
No, I'm saying it's directed to somebody who is saying, why should money be important? And it's one of the persons who is looking at this, and he's saying, I like the issue of community building. But I don't like the issue of money in the community building aspect.
I think munhu ari kudare ari raitwo neimwe way nerimwe side rakewo anoti because kuna vamwe vanhu ka vanokwanisa kuabusa futi chika that mukana iwo anoti vasingazosenzesa chi rightfully because ka if you are going to do that, then the platform is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's say, for an example, we've got 50,000 people, and they all say that they don't have data, but they want to come in. Are we going to be funding for these 50,000 people to nema data to for platform?
No. If you have invited somebody to a nightclub, then Arsenal Mari, Ruda company IK. Would it not be fair to pay for him so that he's there with you?
I think it is not going to depend on no friendship. When you're now plus, it's in the to my parts up a world. Can I go now to Europe?
That's why
even can I cut to a good take drinking and I'm again.
But that's why I think that is Zivani. So that can Zivana Twitter or structure Zivana. One day I will not marry, the next day I will not marry. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Saka mese muri right pa wrong when you know wrong pa right way.
No,
but my examples that
to be a professor. We are just looking for you to deal with the reality of the situation that we are having. That normally when you build communities from connections, if it was just a connection, Mukoma Masimba would not have invited him. And I don't know this guy, but because Mukoma Masimba wants the person to be part of this conversation, and he is on this show. So let us deal with that. I send him data so that he can be part of this conversation. All I'm just saying is that is what we are all calling for when we say connection to community. Then it doesn't mean that everyone has got the money. Even in government, it doesn't mean everyone is producing income. It doesn't mean in a family everyone is working at the same time. But those who work and those who don't work, they are all mixed in one bag called diverse bag. But it's inclusive. You can't say because you are no longer working, you are no longer part of my community. So that's what Mukoma Masimba was talking about. Say, let's move from just mere talk and being cynical. There are people who are just born to be cynical. And there are people who are born to be constructive. And they would say, I see an opportunity of Mukoma Masimba being able to bring us together so that we may know each other. Some will benefit from knowing other people. Some may not benefit, but we need a hook, we need a glue. If it was Trevor Noah, we would come and listen to him. But Mukoma Masimba may be able to make better jokes that provoke people to think positively about their own situation. To make a joke out of depression so that people can talk about it. To make news out of what it means to be in a mental hospital so that others may know that this is a serious thing. So all those things are what we learn. That when we are together, we're stronger. As individuals, we can do so much. But together as individuals, we remain individual. We don't collapse into one mind. We always remain with our feet on the ground and waiting to take the next step. but as individuals. But when we choose to associate with others, something bigger will come out of it than to feel pity for somebody else. And that's the message that I just wanted to convey. It's not my show. It's Mukoma Masimba, you had an idea of why you wanted Samaita to be here and why you want Java to be here. So let us get on with it.
Yes. Now, Blasiza, welcome to 1873 FM. This is a
Thank
TV
you.
station. 1873 Blasiza simply means 1. 1 plus 8 is equal to what? 9. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. 10 minus 1 is equal to 1. So at this station, we are 1. Right? That's why it is called 1873. It means we are 1. Are you getting it there?
Yes.
That's good. Then, number 2, I've invited you here, brother, because we've been friends for a long time, from all the way from Bengembenge. So this platform is a bit different from Bengembenge. Why? Bengembenge, remember, is freelancer, Zawada. Here we are trying, or I'm trying to build a community. So that's why members, to my members, let's pay our membership fees, which is about $30 per year. And I'm going to pay your fees, Blasiza, because I invited you here. Right?
Thank you.
Yes, so we are trying now, at the moment, you and me, to understand each other. That's why I brought you here, my brother. Right?
Thank
On
you. I
my personal
appreciate
page,
that.
I'm with 10 days arts on my personal page. That's personal. Here, it's another page now. And I asked for a platform here. I'm the one who approached Mr. Mawere. Unlike what other people are saying, Mawere is abusing Masimba or using Masimba. No. The fact is, I'm the one who approached Mr. Mawere. Mr. Mawere, I'm back. And I would like to use your platform. I'm writing a book. The title of my book is I'm Looking for My Mother. The word mother is a very broad term. Here, the mother I'm talking about is I'm looking for Zimbabwe. Right? Zimbabwean. Yet I also understand there's nothing called a Zimbabwean. So I think together you're going to learn a lot, my brother. We're going to build
Thank you. I appreciate that.
using connections. Yes.
I appreciate that. And we all learn every day. So yeah, I'm willing to learn. Chingoziwo chimboona kuti ndiro zvinenge zvichifamba sei, we see how it goes, isn't it? Saka pane mamembers mangani mugroup muno? All in all.
Yeah, the C2C, we started early. Right now, we've got about 50 members on the C2C, but we have another initiative called Banking on Africa's Future. That was prior to that, where we have about 200 members.
Okay, wow, that's big. Saka 250 altogether.
Yeah, altogether, yeah.
Ko vanenge vari live panapa vanenge vari active panapa ndovaona papi kuti number yevanhu vakadai kuti it doesn't show, because it's my first time.
No, this is just social media. What the idea is that we get to know each other better. We have a platform that we have created for people to register and put their profile. There are people who want bridge to opportunities, bridge to work. Also, just to get a different perspective on issues in an organized manner. Then people then write. And then we also have an exercise to clean up the problem of social media. Like WhatsApp, you get a lot of messages coming in, but you don't know what's going on. And some people have a tendency of reigning the whole group, just posting, not knowing that others have challenged with data, challenged with different things of life. So sometimes you miss a lot of good messages. But if you have an issue, we have one where we are looking at money matters, which is to look at the money transfer game. If you are in the UK, you need to send money to Zimbabwe today. What are the costs that you pay in order to get your money to Zimbabwe? And even peer to peer, if you wanted to send money to me, what do you do? If you wanted to buy airtime, what do you do? The technologies exist for us to reduce the cost of transmission of money. But sometimes we end up talking about depression, the depressed, but we are not talking about the things that reduce the cost of life to all of us. So we are saying, when you come into a WhatsApp group, has it ever occurred to you, Samaita, that people ask you, what is the group for?
Yes.
And you know how stupid that is for me. Imagine I come to England and say, what is England for? Why did you come? What is the hospital for? When you see the hospital, and then someone wants to give you lectures, why are you using the phone? Why are you on social media? If the people who are paid to stop you from using the phone are doing their job, would you be on the phone? Yeah, but there are so many people who spend time asking you questions. Are you really sick? But where do you see me?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Are you really in England? But I give you my zip code and you see me in England. And then you still ask. So there are things that we waste our time. I sit in a group, in a WhatsApp group. Some people never say anything. Yet when he's talking about the president of their home country, you know, they are so eloquent about denouncing others.
Yes, Nkupan's wrong.
Yeah, and they say they don't pay tax, but they want to be more vocal about how the tax dollars are used for other people. But they don't even know their mayor or councillor in the UK or in America. They don't care about their own money where they live. So we call that active citizenship and civics literacy, that wherever I am, I count. And I don't have to go back to Zimbabwe to start voicing myself about matters of governance. Even in a WhatsApp group, imagine Samaita, you are admin. Then somebody says you must remove others, or you must be the only admin. Imagine I die and I'm the only admin.
Yeah, azvite.
Huh?
That azvite. If you balance by one shoulder, you can't cross the border. For now, got only plan B.
You can, but how many people would rather not be admin because it's too much responsibility? But they don't pray for you. They don't pray for you to get more hours in a day so that you can be their admin.
Yeah. Majority, they don't want that kind of responsibility.
But when it comes to governance, they are the first one to say, this one, there's corruption, there's this, there's that. But they don't want to talk about corruption, that they are the most corrupt people who are silent. You know, who is the most corrupt?
Yeah, vanongwari silent.
They are corrupt.
Yes. Yeah, because ndakazviona futi izvozvo panyaya yema Black Lives Matter pepe. Paitonzizvo uchitorekodha kudaro when you're not doing anything about it, kana kuti munhu achitoabuswa apa newe futi abuser.
Yeah. And they would rather talk about other people.
Yeah, but humans ndo masikirwo achona zvakatoitwa izvozvo zvanezvo. hazviavoideki izvozvozvo maona because human being ndokutojaja whether you do good or you do bad they're going to judge you either way uchida usingadi unotojajwa chete way human being yo yeah.
So my human beings by nature
saka inini how I'll deal with that there inini ndinoweya zvizvitaurwa nevanhu zvinondiimpawa nezvinondisenzera inini ndinotora zvinenge zvisina nebasa neni zvazviya ndinongodiscarda nyarariri ndo handasevha energy yangu pakunoataka munhu iyoya kana kutoti kuda kunozvijustifya aniti kune munhu wekuti ndiri kutoziva kuti izvo zvaatotaura izvo ndiri kutongozvidiscarda ndoisa energy yangu kune zvinondiimpawa zvazviya kune zvikundienlightena zvazviya kuti zvindiite a better person tomorrow. I don't know if that makes sense.
But that most of the people who share things on WhatsApp are the very people who share nonsense sometimes.
I guess it's not dependent on a group WhatsApp.
Yeah. So if we know that, how do we fix it? It starts with you and me.
I guess fix group description. I think that every group structure organized. Munotaura kuti so group rineri we require you kuti mudaiso zvakadaiso nezvakadaiso zvazviite panapa kutoisa mutemo yachona nemarules nemaregulations anofanira kunge achiteedzerwa pafana kunge pane consistency yekuita follow through not kungonyora papekuti zvatiri kuita then you don't do it.
But what
then vanenge vachiona kuti vave kuti they don't belong vanenge vachitora machoices avo ekumuvho vachiendawo kune mamwe magroups anenge ari suitable kune maneeds avo kana kuti zvavanenge vachidawo.
All right. So assume you are the admin and you also don't know what tomorrow brings. How can you lead people to where you have never been?
Izvo inini ndiri as a person ndiri as an individual inini I know kuti people these days they're just zvavanoda kuziya kavanoda kuziya zvinhu zvavasingaziye already, so I'll probably base myself on research. Chida kutsvaga next best thing, creativity, anditi ndichiona zvanenge ndichiona zvinenge zvichisenza ndichisiya zviripo zvinenge zvisingasenzewo because ipapo pakutozama ipapo ndo paunonzwa mavoices evanhu, kutaura kwevanhu, maopinion evanhu, again ndichiweya kana zvichinzi izvo zviri kubeta up group rangu ndichizviisa into practice. Ndakaona zvichiuraya group ndichizvibvisa. That's how I would deal with it.
But for you to lead, do you agree you must know what others don't know?
Yes. Ndizvo zvandataura paipai kuti obviously kuti that's what everyone's after these days, kuti vanhu vatotseuka vatombotora second vakakutarisa kudai so unofanira ngositoziya something zvisiri kuzikanwa nevamwe vanhu.
Do you agree that there are people who talk about mental depression and they've never been depressed themselves?
100%. I know.
Yeah?
Yes, I know.
And there are people who would like to give lectures about marriage, but they are not married.
Yes, I know. And sometimes you won't be surprised you could get good advice. Marriage, counseling, kune munhu anenge asina kubvira mbeita married.
Okay. So, do you agree that building a community necessarily calls for diversity, tolerance, and just to showcase what you are doing?
Definitely diversity is needed. In 2020 munomu togara mixed communities and all that to share diversity, then you're not going anywhere in 220.
And who is the mayor of London today?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, he is from Pakistani heritage.
Okay.
But he's a mayor.
Right.
Wouldn't that inspire somebody coming from Somalia to say, I want to go to England and one day I want to be a mayor, not a president of the country I left?
And it's very possible.
But how many people go so far but never leave their brains with them?
Can you rephrase that question?
How many people fly so many miles, but their mindsets are still village mindsets?
Vakawanda ndisaka kunga kune saying you can take a person out of the ghetto, but you can never take the ghetto out of them.
So as you look around and see many of the people you call Zimbabweans, do you see us talking about something progressive, drawing lessons from a person like Mukoma Masimba, so that we build a community of tolerance, a community of diversity, a community of learning what it means to be what you may not be?
Yes, I can see that happening, but it just depends. If it's fishing, it's not dependent. Cast a fishing road, and it.
Yeah.
Kutoti ubate miramba. Wakada kuenda umwa masmall pond unobato musoro bhangu tumatedhi pose. Wakanopinda ma deep blue seas uko unobuda kana neshaki. Saka zvinodependa unewewe kutoti where are you fishing, where are you looking. Zvakangofanana negirlfriend. Mumwe munhu anokwanisa ngokudzora kuti ndanzwa ndingosangana nepfambi. Uri kuwadzwana kupi? Uri kunotsvaga mabhebha ako kupi kwaunotsvaga? Ndanzwa nekusangana nemabhebha anorova chete kana kuti vedoro chete. Obviously uchasangana nemabhebha edoro chete ukaendawo uchinofisha mumabhawa kazhinji kacho. Andizvo.
All right.
Ukaendawo kumachechi mamwe anenge asikabvumire zvedorodoro ayaya, you are most likely kusanganawo nevanenge vari sober ikoko. Saka it all depends on where you are doing your hunting, your fishing and all that.
So
Saka inenge iri judgment yako iwe munhu. It all comes back to your judgment.
So this conversation, has it helped you to think about why there's agency and need for us to be more organized, even in thought or in action?
I've always known that total need that. I've always known that.
All right, that's is Mukoma Masimba still there?
Good, thank you. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah, I'm on the live. As usual. As usual, you know me, innit? Sorry.
Okay, so that's where we are. So we just said let's convert social media connection into communities of action and communities of thought. Whatever it is, when we are organized, we have people who are for an idea and people who are against an idea. And let ideas battle without people battling the person with the idea. Because sometimes you get the feeling that they would rather talk about Mukoma Masimba than talk about depression.
Yeah, that all comes back to mental capacity of individuals. I mean, we are not the same. And kufunga kwedu kwakatosiyana. Saka iyo vanhu I think kuti vane rights futi yekuti vave vari ma individuals ne state of mind yavo yavanenge vanayo avafanira kunge vachijajwa vachinzi just because they disagree kana kuti they don't know what you're talking about, vanzi they don't know. Everyone knows something, but maybe pamwe ndofunga inenge ingori different agenda.
So but do you see that as a problem that it's easy?
Inene, I wouldn't see it as a problem because again ndine mindset yekupromota diversity and mabeliefs evanhu, religion dzevanhu, they're very open-minded. Saka inini kwandiri inini ndozvikamfota nekuti we are different. That's that person. They cannot be me. They cannot think like me.
Okay. So I'm saying is the fact that you think differently and we showcase it, would that provoke others to think differently as well?
It could provoke, it could help others. Because
Isn't it why we
zvingazofarirwa nemunhu wese ka only mari ndiyo inodiwa nemunhu wese. Pane zvinhu zvese zvaunotaura even nyangwe mumafamilies chaimo munotoita masiblings chacho vasinganzwanani but vakabuda mudumbu memunhu wani, vakakura vese vachigara vese kana for 40 years kana for 50 years varimo museme, vakarezwa same household but vasingapindirani, vasinganzwanani, vasingawirirani, vasinga-agree on my opinions avo.
But do you agree that even just this conversation alone may encourage somebody else to be tolerant of divergent views?
Yes, I do agree that. I do agree with that.
Do you agree that Mukoma Masimba is given this opportunity to transition from where he is into the arena where you can exchange value with people? And I give you my time, you give me something. It becomes my job to think about the next chapter.
I agree to a certain extent. I agree to a certain extent because in any my conscience tells me sometimes don't do things to get things in return, and because wakaita usinga expect anything, one avoid my disappointments. Number two, wakaita uchida something kana zvekuda kuonekwa kana zvechi, you are now feeding your ego. Haisi zvekutoti zvakuita from the bottom of your heart. Zvakafanana nekuti kana uchifamba mutown mame wakaona munhu ari kugara mustreet ari homeless ane plate yake, wakapfuura wakakanda $10 yako oenda kuchinyarariri, handiti zvakasiyana nekuisa $10 yako votora self uri papo voposta paFacebook uchiti ndadonate. You are feeding your ego. You are not doing it mune zvakanaka. That's how I see it.
All right. And you have been involved in Benge.
Sorry, say that again.
And Benge as a platform.
Yeah.
Is it something that you've been working on?
Yes, I've been working there as administrator for a while now.
How long?
For a while now.
How long is for a while?
I think up to about 2 years now.
All right. And what inspired?
Kubvira pese parakangotanga kungoita transformation. Tisi takasvika netransformation yekuti no tribalism, no homophobic, no sexism, tichikanikana ipo pai, no child porn, no porn, no nudes, no chi, vanhu chibloka, vanhu chipa mawarning, vanhu chiita sei, but ezvinezvi hauchanzwa vanhu vanenge vachiti amasvina this ndebele pese mumvenge hazviitwe zvezvi, hazvichataurwa zvekunzi mbana yazodedede, so yakusenzeswa patemi yayona chewedhiraria, notuti paraisenzeswa kutoti richisenzeswa kuti dziri abuse, handiti maalbino, mahomosexuals, machi hazvichabuda papeji raria. Saka ndikiri kubvira pakatanga matransformation yawo, I think kuti tisi taka enforce all that kuti richinje. because ezvinezvi kana mairi followa mvenge mvenge I bet kuti tindofunga munonotizvo it's a different mvenge mvenge than it was 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
So congratulations on that transformation.
Say that again.
I said congratulations on the transformation, on playing a part in transforming that platform. And for this, it's Mukoma Masimba, we had invited you, but it looks like I've already been hijacked, and he is missing in action. So you guys, do you support his drive to institutionalize content? So that
so in this case, and Namasimba, we cannot rush to he's abandoned you and it. Semuna Rimuchi hospital, pamwe madoctor, nae, pamwe manesa pinda, was mamma no pindaga in and out, and it. Saga pamwe yango batika now.
No, that's now fiction. That's now fiction.
That's now fiction. No, it's an assumption. Not fiction.
Why do you have to assume?
Sorry, sir.
When a person has invited you, but is missing in action.
Fiction. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Magati fiction.
No, what your assumption could be based on fiction.
And it could be based on the truth.
Yeah, but the only way to test the truth is to ask the person.
To ask him and no. But unfortunately, we can't do that now because he's not there, isn't it?
No, and reduce airtime on making assumptions.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, otherwise we end up assuming for someone who is living and say he's sick when he's not sick. We say he's under a medication when he's there. What if he's listening and he finds our conversation in sync with what you wanted to say?
Maybe it's just the word abandoned. That's
you know why I use abandoned? Is to provoke him to use his own voice.
Saga abandoned is also, and again, Saga abandoned could also be fiction.
No, it's provocative.
Yeah, provocative fiction.
No, it may be the truth.
Well, it can be a fact.
It's a fact that is not with us. That he is the convener.
Abandoned. Yeah. Willingly, and it.
But why would you say not excuse, guys?
Sorry?
Why would you not find it courteous to say, excuse me?
And that day I cannot speak for him. And if Papa cannot answer for him, why he didn't, we'll have to wait, then he hear. But before Tanzwa, fact yachona yekutizwa why aende koko atufana ngechikwanisa kuisa word kuti abandoned. We can only know that he abandoned kana taziya kuti what really happened.
Yet the reality
could anything. It could be network that's gone. It could be credit, data. Data. And it could be anything, basically.
Or it could be anything.
Yeah. Saga word abandoned.
So why are you covering him up?
Right choice of
why are you covering him up? Is it because
it's just a debate? I'm just saying my opinion on this.
No,
how I see things and how I see life.
Why can't we just leave it there to say, I don't know what I don't know?
Because ndingenda abandon conversation yedichiri pakati because atina kusvika pekuti agree because zvinonzizotika if you agree on something you both win. If you don't agree you both lose.
But how many times do we disagree on fiction?
then we both lose on fiction.
But how many of our conversations are infested with fiction?
I wouldn't know the kind of conversations that you have, because this is my first one-to-one talk with you.
All right.
And you are
So
not
far,
someone that I know, Maona. We are
okay.
still getting to know
So
each other.
far,
This is
in
like my
the
first time.
absence of the convener, what is your rating of the conversation?
Sorry, can you say that again?
In the absence of the person who convened this meeting, what is your rating of the conversation from on a scale of 1 to 10?
Me, I would say it's a 10. It's a 10 plus. Why I say it's a 10 plus is good. So one, nigga, he went out of his way. Unza pane zvinhu zvaanoona kunge maybe zviri malines angu inini handizika, and nemalines enyu imi handizika. One. Number two, he is actually he's introduced us. He's told me reason yake yandigira panapa nezvinoitwa panapa. He's explained that kwandiri handizika. Imimi kwamuri mimi anokuziya, and I think that he trusts both of us kutoti we will be okay pa conversation inei isina iye achirefura. Saka ane faith name, saka I'll give it a 10 plus. And I think it's been going well because you've enlightened me on certain things, and you've given me a voice as well to speak out. In my opinion, ndiri free. Ndosaka ndichiri panapa.
So, do you think there's space for these conversations?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
All right. So, this idea of setting up a community, what is your perspective? And having learned from Benge, is it easy to work with others to produce a better outcome?
Yes, I think it's a brilliant idea. I think this should carry on because it's still a baby, and it's still a baby. Rangobva ngozvarwa chiri kukura. It needs to be nurtured. We all be learning. Ipapapa netika zvinenge zvigadziswa ma-alterations achiitwa, but panenge pakatoungana vanhu pachitaurwa zvinhu zvinenge zviri positive, it's always a good platform.
Okay, do you know Mr. Chimedza, Freeborn Chimedza?
No, I don't know him.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chimedza.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mawere. How are you?
How are you? Do you
What's
know?
my brother's name? I missed the first 45 part of the conversation. Sorry.
No, you haven't missed anything because we did invite you.
I'm a subscriber, America. As a subscriber, invitations are automatic because we get some notifications. So
But if you can't make it, we are not going to hold anything against you.
No. That's why I say my apologies.
You don't even apologize. Just get into the bus and say what you have to say.
No, I'm enjoying the conversation so far, Andiliga. And what my brother is saying, that's what I'm saying. Darong, my brother.
Samaita Junior.
Yes. So I'm loving the conversation, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
What you said last is poignant because I speak to Mukoma Masimba, my back channels, when he's not streaming himself, just for conversation, just getting stuff off his chest. So I do give it a 10 plus because we do to some extent, not 100%, to some extent, have the right to comment on Mukoma Masimba's well-being, and because we are coming from a community-based consensus or a community-based understanding where it's voluntary and illegal. We're not forced to come on these platforms. We were not forced to form our channels. We chose this for ourselves and illegal. But what we encounter in life, the challenges, we don't necessarily have control over. And it. But when we do, what we do with what we do after or what we do with those circumstances is what actually defines who we are in that present. Because some people don't care. That's the bottom line. Some people do genuinely care. Some people's interest, go gumira pa gossip. But like I'm saying, some people do care. And people like Mukoma Masimba, to me, speaking on his behalf, he can correct me anytime. But I feel he's the person who feels. And there are those people who are empathetic, or I'm not my empath. And there you go. Where it's difficult for them to be logical, even though they are highly intelligent. They operate in that base, more emotional rather than logical. You see what I'm saying? So he feels more, and he operates in a area where he deals with feelings more. You see what I'm saying? So I think I understand him because I also operate in that level, even though I'm highly logical about things. But I'm usually emotionally upset most of the time, not logical. You see what I'm saying? So what he is going through, yes, it's defined as depression, but there are layers to this in terms of depression. Depression is not generic. You've been diagnosed with depression and it's generic. These are the treatments towards it. No, we have to look at the causes, factors behind your what's causing the depression. Yeah, right. And then for us in diaspora, you find that yes, there's an element of denial because you were not exposed to these things before. I remember growing up in Zimbabwe and Iliga, there was a thing about stress.
That the issue that brought us here,
Yes, sir,
is simple. It's not Mukoma Masimba. It's simple. The C to C,
right,
the conversion of connections to communities.
right.
What you think of it? And we have Samson. Good afternoon. Sam,
yes, how are you doing?
How are you? Maybe we can start.
Yes,
by
hello, how are you doing?
How are you? Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just following on your discussion, and I just want to comment. I've got a few minutes here, but just to comment on one thing. Sometimes we won't realize that there is a problem until someone actually tells them that there is a problem. In this case, I'm talking about Mukoma Masimba's problem. There is a serious problem. Most people who have got depression, they don't really realize that they have depression. But in this case, some other people, they are trying to take chances on being the God sent or good Samaritan, and then they use that opportunity to
Okay, it looks like there's a problem there. And Samaita, on your side, do you have anything about why you were brought here by Mukoma Masimba on the issue of building community
Not that
power?
in particular, but I would like to agree with my brother there, Trade. Sorry, I forgot your
That's
name. I missed it.
Rosie.
And I'd like to agree naye although ndangobacktracka zvangu ndikuziva kuti mamenge mamboibrasha kuti tipfuure tichienda, but I just feel like kuti I have to agree with him. Pangasara kuti zvo okay, iye sometimes it does feel emotional because munhu anotaura namasimba kuseri kwekuyani. And let's all remember this kuti tizochika. Masimba has brought everything on social media. Once you bring your stuff on social media, people are bound to comment. People are bound to say their opinions. Because you've brought it there, it's not private anymore. It's public business. So once it's public business, let it be public business because you brought it out there for the people. And yes, I do agree with you, brother. I don't think that people do wrong by what they say or the lines that they come up with. And when they're responding, when they are responding to Kuna Masimba, and because we all deal with situations in a different way, we all react differently. We are all different, as I've been saying. Saka ivo vanhu ivavoga vanofanira kunge vachitongorespektawo time yavo yavanenge vachitotora nepassion yavo nechido chavo nelove yavo yavari kushowawo kwaari nesupport yavari kumupa, vasingabhashwe kunzi don't say this, oh this is wrong, this is right. If he doesn't want to hear it, he shouldn't air anything.
But then we are running again into the same trap. Mukoma Masimba is already in hospital, in a psychiatry unit, is being attended to by experts.
Oh yes, that I do understand, sir. But I was just kungotsinira chete point yangachitorwa namudhara. Then to answer your question, when you said kuti inini kwandiri, what do I have to say for myself for being brought here? As I told you, kuti I had no clue what this platform was all about. I was curious. I kept on bugging him, like, yo, you need to aid me, or I need to see what's going on there, what goes on there. So my name is Toraf. I did, okay, come see for yourself. Saga inini for now, just take me like a first grade student, first day in school. I'm still learning where is the toilet, my new best friend, etc., etc. So I'm still a baby in this.
Yeah, I like your honesty.
Okay. Okay, I think Samaita, that's a good start. We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
And when we look out into the future, you discover how small you are when you look at the universe of what is taking place. Yet, when we talk, like when I say we, sometimes I get the tendency to think I am the world.
I think that's the best way to think than to look at yourself small. Never talk yourself down. In this world here, in this evil world that we live here, everyone else there is trying to put you down. Then you're the last person.
But Samaita, you have just said you are
need to keep your head up and shout out that I'm on top of the world.
No, but
it's me, it's my time. We need that mental state of mind.
Samaita, you just said you are a toddler, and I am saluting you. But
that was an example, not in real life. Yeah, in real life, in Torres, big head like a Simba. I'm happy. I'm content.
I was happy that you are a toddler like me, because I didn't know you. And
that was an example, sir.
Yeah, no matter how I may want to imagine you, if you didn't present yourself here, I wouldn't know you.
Yes, but Pamati toddler, I think that you listen to reply, not to listen to understand what I was trying to say.
No, I'm just saying it's good sometimes for us to be toddlers, so that we build something together.
Yeah, but toddler, small and young are two different things.
Okay, we are now in the arena of argument.
Young. I said I'm young. I didn't say I'm small.
No, I don't want to argue with what you
No, we are
described.
not arguing. I never argue. I debate. It's a fact. It's not fiction.
But you just welcome to this platform.
Thank you, sir.
And when we welcome you in recognition that is your first.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
probably
it.
not the last.
Yes, Junior.
Thank
So,
you.
Welcome very much, Junior.
Yeah, so
thank you, brother. Salute.
yeah, so Junior, don't feel you are young or you are a toddler. You are a giant in your
Well,
own.
I always feel young, I make myself feel young. For
All right.
45, no, I'm not old. I'm still going on strong.
Yeah, good.
I'm still going on strong. I will never
life is
belittle
a
myself.
story.
All right, so we can ask Chimeda's wife as a referee of blacks talking. Are you happy that we are talking sense, or you are saying these are Zimbabweans? I only can accommodate my husband, and that's it.
So you can get to the mic.
I know, I agree with you. Like, we all find ourselves in situations where we're not familiar. So, then you're almost like a 5-year-old. Sometimes you say, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Like, sometimes, you can't always be on point with every single thing in life. So sometimes, you'll find yourself like you're a toddler.
True.
We are all foreigners somewhere. We are all toddlers somewhere.
Yeah.
Because everything we do in life is new.
Yeah, you'll always, even if you're 50 years old, you'll find yourself in a position where you feel like, okay, I don't know, like you said, can you show me the bathroom, please? Like, you don't even know anything where anything is.
So that's all we are saying. If it is the lesson of today, is we build communities one brick at a time, one individual at a time, and each individual counts.
Yeah.
That there is no bigger one, there is no youth. How many people want youth to be the universe of humanity? Forgetting that tomorrow they'll also be old without knowing that they are getting old.
Yeah, but there's a wonderful thing about children, when they're young and they see something for the first time, and the awe and the way they get so excited about this small little thing, like that we forget about that sometimes when we grow older. That we still have things to learn, even though we're so old, we don't know everything, and there's always something new, and you should look at it like a child, like, oh really, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what else can we do and to accelerate this initiative that Samai just started? You know what Benge is, Chimeza?
Yeah, that's where we started with Benge. But before we even Benge, takachiri kwa the TV. And even na Zimbo Live TV, kwese koko takachiriko. In Benge, I stopped following it because Mukoma Masimba. Because I wasn't agreeing with content yang I was at a point in time in personally where I was awakening. What I can say, my awakening to society. So I found it, shallow, for better lack of words. But I am now coming back through Mukoma Masimba because he is now touching base with reality. Even though some people deem it as insanity, to me, I'm actually saying this is now sanity touching back to reality because we are now dealing with issues as they are. Most people on social media, you find that the life they portray is not that life. Because if you call them and then, can you send me £50? Or can you send me $50 US?
Meanwhile, they're flashing on social media. Look, me, I'm in a restaurant. I'm drinking cocktails. I'm eating steak. Da da da. But now you're asking for $50. Oh no, bro.
Right. But you posting pictures on social media like you got the life and illegal. You see what I'm saying? So pictures don't necessarily depict what is going on background. Now, some people are honest enough, they are just genuine, and they give it like it is. Now, Mukoma Masimba is coming back to that place where I'm saying he's touching base with reality. And then he got kutoka pasi, so to speak. And then coming back to basis, touching base with reality, those reading. It seems like insanity to other people. That's what it looks like. Because when the problem is other people. But for people like me, who've been through life, still going through life, have had they are not the school of hard knocks, and they are not the comfortable one. School of the hard knocks, rough program, and we understand Kware. Me, I'm that kind of a person who, even though I could afford Chapoba Changu, Jack Daniels, whatever, nice car, whatever, but still you'll find me in the end of sport here, Mazimbabwe in the Kachasu. I'm forgetting the other beer. I think I read of Mozambique. It's very cheap beer. I got a dollar. Yes. But you see those environments. Z. Yeah, it was Z. My wife is like Z. Yeah, Z. Yeah. Because I even need to try some of that. But you find with usual right out of the status yako iwewe. What are you doing munzvimbo dzakadai so zviri kukachaso mbundu newakomana kutengesa mawemzi chichichi? That's where I found myself, because I'd been abroad 15 years. I'd come back to Zimbabwe. I was fine. Nadzoka dem Zimai wangu, she was my girlfriend then. And when I went to Zimbabwe, I told her, look, I need to go to Zimbabwe for this 6 months to a year, just to sort my own personal shit out. She would not let me do that. She had to come with me. She came with me. She experienced that Zimbabwean life for 5 years. As a person about the UK, Europe, I did not sugarcoat things. I took a you understand what I'm saying?
Real life.
And my white wife take some beer. I was being fined in sports where people will be like, why shouldn't you be Victoria Falls living that life? Why shouldn't you be whatever 5-star resort, 4-star resort? That's where you should be enjoying the life, rather than you are in the ghetto, you are taking it to the villages, Kumusha. I guess your lifestyle, yeah, you see. So
that's real.
What I'm trying to get at is when you start to touch base with genuineness and who you are, culture plays a big part of who you are. Because here in diaspora, you find in Sweden and I can show you my clothes. This is what people wear. This is what people used to wear 500 years ago. You understand? They still wear clothes. Here in Sweden, they still wear clothes. Am I lying, sir?
No, yeah, they do. With socks.
Yes. But this is traditional things that they used to do 500 years ago. There is food here. You know, Usman's course.
Blood pudding, yeah.
And that's another blood pudding. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Right. But it's their culture. You understand? And they hold on to it and they're proud of it. You see what I'm saying? And they celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But
German, if it's their culture, I need to correct you. It can never be disgusting. You have to respect those cultures, religions,
right.
and beliefs.
Right.
That's the wrong way.
It's my opinion. It's my opinion. Right. It's my opinion. It's just my opinion on the food, because I've experienced that culture, so I can have an opinion on it. You see what I'm saying? Before you even speak on something, try it. And here you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but like he's like saying, you know, blood pudding, we eat blood pudding here in Sweden, right? But we don't eat intestines. We throw them away. So now you go to Africa, now people are eating intestines.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's all relative. You know, what are you used to? What are you not used to? People eat brains in China. You know, it's no big deal. So
They
it's
eat
all.
dogs over there.
Right.
Yeah, they dogs there. I heard even like they're running out of food, so now they're telling people to give up their pets. Give us your pet dogs because there's no food in the restaurants. That was last week. I saw that on the news.
Right.
Okay,
So
I think we are done. Mukoma Masimba is gone, and I think the idea was to introduce Samaita to this idea of a platform
right.
where we can all connect and build each other and as a community. So, welcome, Samaita. I'm not sure whether Chimeza you have joined or not, and Sarah whether you have joined, because it's only by doing something that we can be able to take next steps forward.
Yeah,
And
we discussed this
Thank you.
with my
Thank
wife.
you ever so much for having me.
all right, oh no, thank
Thank you.
you.
I appreciate it. I think it's a very, very good platform. You need to keep on doing what you guys are doing. And I'm here. I think I'm here to stay for a while. I need to get to grade 2, grade 3, grade 4 going up. Yeah. And
Junior,
So I
for my
think
brother there, Mr. Chimeza.
can I get your contact, Junior? Can I talk to you now?
Yes. Yes,
I want to
you
talk to
can.
you now. Like I know Mr. Tumawere is very strict with this platform. That's the thing. He won't let us fish out each
Yeah.
other, right?
Yeah.
He won't let us fish out each other. But from time to time, Mr. Mawere, you should sit back and then watch the evolution.
Yeah.
And then watch the evolution. Because
That's
he
true.
kana wajara something and don't expect it mangwana kwa umuga chabereka chinchacho. And then no, you plant a seed, let it grow. How that plant turns out sometimes is not what you expected, Aniliga, but all you can do is nurture it to the best of your expertise. It's just
no,
what
uh,
you
uh,
mananacho.
no, Chimeza, that's why we are saying let's be organized.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to be here. That's why Mukoma Masimba was going to be here, so that the show can keep on going and for members, so that we can do our programming, we can do our storage. All I'm
Okay.
asking is, are you
I want to pay
registered?
up my membership. I want to pay up my membership. I spoken to my wife. We spoke about it. We discussed it. She wants more information, but I told her we use the WhatsApp group yet now to ask for the information you want because she got the
Yeah,
number.
what I'm saying is she may be the missing part to answer the questions that she wants to ask.
Yes.
Okay,
Because
Mr. Mayor, I've got your number, so I'll send you a message on WhatsApp.
yeah, but also what I wanted to say is that we are all in it to build each other. Nobody has got a better answer to go to heaven. So
No, no.
if you want to
And
go to,
nobody knows for a fact that there is a heaven.
that's right.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
No,
And
Henry,
before you go,
Yeah.
before you go, Mr. Chimeza,
Let's
I
meet
quoted
up.
you when you said like
Yeah.
and you had to leave Mvenge because it was lame and all that, yeah. Well, I'm an administrator Mvenge. For the past 2 years, we've made a big transformation. Man, we've made a big transformation. There's none of that bullshit. Racism, tribalism, homophobic, sexism, everything we've faced it out. It's a complete different group. So you're welcome. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. We're running it now, and we're running it properly.
I want to
Okay.
I want to have a
Yeah, leave your
conversation.
number
I want to have a
somewhere.
conversation with you
Yes,
after this show.
does my number reflect here? How can I pass it to you.
Just go to comments.
Oh.
Just go to private chat, and you can put the number there.
Okay, this is my first time to use this app. Oh, anyway, I think you tagged my Facebook name first up, Pakutanga Samaita JR Junior or Samaita Senior or Samaita Junior. Add me on those three. Then I'll
If
give
I
you my
add
number.
you the thing, I want to have a conversation with you now, innit? Because when I try and add you, it will take time.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
We have this conversation with you now.
Well, live in is it international? Is it worldwide? So that okay, can I call out my number now, or it's not safe?
No, it's not. It's okay if you want people to contact you, America, for C2C purposes. As you say, building communities. There's no reason why you should hide your number. At the end of the day.
Okay, can you
But
write
if
it
you
down?
don't want trolls, yes, I can understand. But you can be selective of the people you want to communicate with you. That's your right.
Yeah. Okay. My number is +44.
Yeah.
7508.
Yeah.
999.
Yeah.
368.
750-8999-368.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
But I still buy South African wine, huh?
Cheers.
See that? If Zimbabwe was making wine, I would buy it from Zimbabwe.
All right. So we have
Right. Thank you for the digits. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. We have
salute.
we have
Thank you, Mr. Mawere, for the platform.
Signor wanted to say something.
Signoro.
Hello, Jambo Africa, Jambo Zimbabwe, Makadiko, Linjani.
Mushe, Signoro. How are you?
Signoro.
No, I'm just following the trend. Matana Isimba, I'm just following the trend. I think that's what I'm seeing, that's what I'm reading between the lines, that, this kind of approach is a practical solution.
Signora, speaker.
The more effective, more robust, more robust way of practical way of.
Signoro, answer my headphones, Signoro. Use earphones.
Okay, let me put my headphones.
Yeah.
Let
Signor, I'm familiar with Signor.
Yeah, me too. I'm familiar with Signoro. I've got two interviews on the right now. So you can go to my page and have a look.
All right.
Yeah.
And page
It's me, Fribon Chimeta. Whether you go to YouTube or Facebook, it's just saying Fribon Chimeta. You see, I don't hide myself. I don't use nicknames.
Sorry, there was a call coming through, so I didn't hear you.
Okay, Signor, are you done?
No, Signor, I said later.
Yeah, he's got another number. He's got another
Can
phone.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now.
Yeah, I had to keep quiet because others were talking. I had to keep quiet because others were talking. I'm just saying. I see this as the practical side of the much talked about
cultural revolution.
Hashtag Ubatana Simba. I think this is an approach that can probably take us somewhere. as a people, as people of Zimbabwe, people of the world, where when we talk of shared vision, shared ideology, shared
Try and sit down.
information, it demands us to get together, once in a
And then you
while
started me up. It's the first
from our different culture diversity,
you started me up.
different platforms, and try to find
Minutes.
ways how best we can
He's been here for longer than
reconcile
5 minutes.
our differences. First
And
thing first, we should accept that we are divided, but positively, we should come up with practical solutions to get to speak with one voice, or to look at problems, with one eye. And this can yield long-lasting solutions.
Okay, no thanks. Thanks for those words of encouragement. And if you are watching there, let's be more organized in the knowledge that nobody can organize for things that are yet to happen. They will happen anyway, but the more structured we are, the more impact the voice that we all have can have on others. The more we act in our own self interest, the better for others who may want to do the same. So I do hope that the conversation has provoked, ignited, and inspired new ways of looking at defining problems and possibly solving problems. And it starts with you, it starts with me, and I am the us in the us. There cannot be we without the I. But when we become we, the I will always have the driving mind to impact on others.
I've
So
got a
it is
suggestion,
I,
Mr. Mowell.
yeah.
I think we should be more based on enlightening than provoking, because provoking scares away people. Enlightening, people want to engage. It attracts people.
No,
But let's try not to provoke
I'm just saying is I can never
and
cause
enlighten.
a donkey to drink water, but I can
If you
provoke a donkey by taking it to water. The drinking is the choice of the donkey.
you
Yes,
can
so
encourage it,
give
you can
time.
encourage it, but not provoke it.
And it.
No, I'm saying is you are already thinking for me. I'm saying on my side, I would rather be
No, I'm
provoked.
disagreeing with your side. I'm not thinking for you, sir.
No, I'm saying is you don't have to you have a point. You can make a point that I want to enlighten, and I'm saying I can't enlighten you.
Thank you. Once you say enlighten, then we are good to go.
No, I can't enlighten you when I don't know what I don't know.
And you cannot provoke if you don't know what you don't know as well.
No, I can only provoke by the things that I'm
You
doing.
cannot.
That's why I'm showing up. Others may come and say, I want to join. Like I provoked Chimedza to come on this show. If there was no show, he was not going to call me to say,
Because let me tell you one good thing for nothing, Mr. Mawere. If
Maybe
you
the word to
provoke
use
someone,
is
yeah,
initiate,
someone
not
is going to
provoke.
come with a defensive mindset. If you enlighten them, they come with a contributing mindset. So there's a thin line between the two.
I think, maybe the word to use here is initiate, to initiate a
Yeah,
conversation.
initiate.
It's not
But
because when you're
provoke, I don't think
provoking
it's the right
someone, it's
word to
like you
use.
want to push their buttons to get them to say
Yeah.
something that maybe they
Because
wouldn't say.
provoking, it's like you're
But to
forcing.
initiate
Hold
is,
on, hold on.
I wouldn't
In
say
Mr. Mawere's defense, it means the same thing, pretty much. It's just a deep understanding of English that Mr. Mawere has. And it's day old English that Mr. Mawere has. But he's precise in what he's saying. How you get it, perhaps is slightly different.
But that doesn't make it right, Rasta.
No, no, no,
Because
no.
the way that we
It's not
put
about
our
right or
words
wrong.
across,
No,
words
it's not
are the
about.
most powerful. On we need
but
to be very, very
I'm
smart
saying,
with this.
Samaita, there's no right or correct answer in life.
So they shouldn't be provoking then in life.
No, if it works for me to provoke you to say something and you don't say it, that's fine.
We
But
can
all I'm saying is that I can't cause you to make a choice that you need to make yourself.
We can agree to disagree on that one. Me, I think it's just the wrong choice of word.
Now I'm saying is the moment you
But
say
what you are
wrong,
saying,
then
I
let's
do
let's
understand.
celebrate diversity of thought.
Yeah, what you are saying, I respect it,
we are doing that,
but I
yeah.
disagree with it.
That's fine, and that's what you're entitled to do. But be the best of what you want to be. If you want to enlighten people, be the best light there is.
And you can never do that there by provoking people.
No, for
You
some may
push
be
people
dogs,
away by doing
some
that.
may be dogs that bark when there's movement, but when there's no movement, they don't bark at all.
I still disagree, sir.
Which is fine. Nobody would deny you the right to disagree. But we can look at the glass and you say it's half full and I say half empty. And we are both correct. We don't have to be both
Mr.
wrong.
Mawere, your guest here, may I just add my voice?
Okay.
Allow me to probably demystify the different views by saying maybe a subject for another day. If I'm given a chance, I would like something that I'm very passionate about to say, let's talk about communication, because I think we all talk about first things first. There's no way we can do anything in life in terms of arranging. You cannot arrange anything if you don't have lines of communication. You cannot build uh,
Thank you.
any tangible, asset. You cannot build anything, any community project without the basics of communication. And I don't think it's anyone to blame. I always want to say, when we are looking at a problem, a social problem that affects every one of us, we should embrace it. So we should not approach it with this idea of
Venom.
saying, but we should take into consideration that we may stumble and struggle to achieve what we want to do in whatever area, as long as the communication is out. It's something that I've observed as a culturalist, that we have a problem. I also am part of the problem, where many times people are arguing. And I'll pose a question before I probably can go further. It's a request that, if allowed, can we then provoke a subject conversation Many a times, how many of us here can remember having a conversation, and then in the middle of the conversation, you hear these words, I beg your pardon. I repeat, when last did you hear in a conversation somebody saying, I beg your pardon? Or the trending now is, I have to step on top of your voice. I have to be more competitive. I have to show that I'm the voice of the people in our respective, whether it's a family level. And that's one thing that I would like to probably maybe bear with me. I think my view is that this is starting at family level. This is why families are divided. Brother are not talking. Brother, sister are not talking. And if we overlook that, if we ignore that, which is addressing the fundamental principles of communication, surely I think we'll have an aborted takeoff, whether we want to build a village school, whether we want to build a provincial structure, whether we want to build or to rather even put issues or rather put lines on the constitution, something that can be our guideline nationally. The whole world is divided because I personally think it's because we've lost communication skills.
Okay, no, thank you. I think let's us take off from here. Those who wish to belong to build something, the choice is yours. And Samaita, your final words, and then Chimeza and Sarah, we can then close on that.
Yeah,
Well, I'd
I
just
have
like to thank you for the opportunity to come and join your platform, which is very, very enlightening. You know, it's very educational as well. So I respect that. Thank you, and let's all keep in touch. Like this is only the beginning. On we've got loads to talk about. We've got loads to offload. So yeah, I'm just grateful, basically. Thank you guys for tuning in and for your input.
Okay, thank you very much for the time and the contribution. It's only when we come together and we organize and not agonize, and that change will show through what we do, not what we say. Okay, and Chimeza, any last point?
What what is your objective? What do you want to see coming out of this project, this underworking? What um, you have a vision. Your your best expected outcome, and your worst fears as well in
I
regards.
don't, I, I don't have any objective other than to celebrate a person like Samaita who is here, and what he has said is what the project is meant to be, to provide a platform for people to exchange ideas, insights, knowledge, and just to know each other. That's all. And if they do that, they can do business off screen. They can know each other and build diverse, inclusive communities for themselves. So
Right.
the person who is there who says, I'll do it tomorrow, I will be part of a community tomorrow, that's their problem. I benefit from knowing others. I benefit from knowing your address. Sometimes I forget numbers. I lose numbers and I don't know how to get hold of you. But you may think I'm rude. But if I know you and we democratize even this business of hosting the show, then it makes 24 hours multiply so that others can do it. That's why I was saying to Mukoma Masimba, you start something, then you disappear from your own project so that I end up having to host. That's what we are trying to avoid and wait for somebody to host something
To be
and
fair,
wait
to be
somebody to be the host, somebody to communicate when we can all pay equally so that we get administrators yesterday than abuse one and the demand of one like a little god or little president to host a Facebook Live. So when any one of us can do it, all we need is a secretariat, all we need is the structure order so that people can have a voice rather than talk and talk and talk and yet just the simple question, are you a member of what you believe in? Then somebody says, I don't have to be a member. Then who is going to organize us so that we have our own little admin? Even soccer, it won't be soccer without organization. It won't be basketball or cricket or netball, or Olympics. That human beings are not animals. We can organize ourselves without asking, what do you want to achieve by organized soccer? The best soccer, excellence. What you need to do by organizing doctors into a medical association? We want the best doctors who are self-regulating so that those who can't do the job will be flushed out of the system because we are orderly. Surely you don't need to ask me what you want to do with human beings when human beings are self-regulating and self-assertive, self-interested. So let's celebrate the self-interest, but also agree that as long as you are human, you don't monopolize self-interest. Don't demand of others what you can do for yourself. So when you are in a human setting, just be part of it. Just be in the midst of it. Churches are not built out of business plans by human beings like you and me. But they get structure, they get order. I don't ask a pastor, if I join, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to take you to heaven. But you are better off in an organized setting to live life, solve problems.
So I think your explanation has led me to a question. I
Right.
think
Me too.
maybe the question is being asked there indirectly here, right? I think like uh, people would want to know, like, okay, I'm paying my $30. I'm not sure if it's 30 rands, 30 US dollars, 30 Australian dollars, 30 pounds. Yeah, where is it going to? What's the cause? Uh, who benefits from it? What are we gonna use it for? In just
No,
joining the platform,
that's what I'm
just
saying. That's
have
what I'm
general discussions to enlighten each other.
No, what I'm saying is the first you have admin just to release to have a organization where you can have a register of members, add benefits to members who are organized. So if it's a question of
How?
let's say we're looking at just e-commerce. I want to move money from UK to Zimbabwe. And how do I do it in a cost effective way or least cost? If I'm looking for a doctor, where do I get a doctor? I'm located in New Zealand. How can I get access to somebody in Zimbabwe? Then you take a register like Uber, like Airbnb. You get a platform where people know the demand and supply side of things. If it's a discussion on property rights, there are different
Okay, so
views.
to make it a bit shallow, does it work like a burial society here in Zimbabwe? yekuti
No, for
chipi
now,
anenge afirwa mari yotorwa yoendeswa kukofini here owa.
okay, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. First, it's one to belong to an association. That's one choice. Do I want to belong to an association that I want to contribute? Then within that association, you can then build a burial society and also talk about the need for burial societies. Because sometimes our radio, our social media, we are not talking about those things. We start arguments, we start this and that. So you got a point. First, for me to be even talk about soccer, I must belong to a country. I must pay taxes to the country to build the structures around it. Then within the country, I can end up with a football association. That is of people who are in that country who love soccer. They will do that. But
But
at
Mr.
the end of the day,
Mr. Mawere, what you are not giving room for, is the X factor. You're already operating within a system, within parameters, within governance. And with me, I'm getting this thing. You are failing to actually think outside of the box, right?
And
Well, hold on.
you hold the conversation, like when a conversation is going and it might be going off track, but you should let the conversation flow, not stop people to as they know that's not the topic.
It should come to its natural resolution, conclusion.
Because it comes out as
don't stop people.
because it ends up looking like dictatorship.
Exactly. That's my wording as well. Mr. Mawere, wait, Mr. Mawere.
Giving ultimatums.
Mr. Mawere, what we struggle with, Andiliga, is the youth of Zimbabwe. Is trying to make a bridge between us and Andiliga. This is now a generational issue, Andiliga, where your generation, Andiliga, has failed us, Andiliga, in no unequivocal terms. Your generation has failed us. What we have had to inherit as a Zimbabwean, speaking to you frankly, sir, it starts amount to nothing, to the point where I'm more comfortable in a foreign land, with nothing, but I actually have more than I would have had in my place of inheritance. There's the we, there's the I. Yes, there's the we and the I, but there is no I that does not come from the we, from the individual is born from two parents. It's a union of two parents that brings about the individual, an understanding that brings about the individual. Life is brought about through an understanding. If we do not have consensus as a we, rather than ratifying for the individual,
I'm totally lost there. Because I'm saying is if you are organized, I don't have to be here.
Organized under which principles? Because
whatever principle you decide.
Do we organize under democracy? Because this is the thing, some of us want to have this discussion and this conversation to the point where we can actually pinpoint where we think the problem is, not where you want us to say, look, this is where you have to navigate to.
True. I'm saying.
Mr. Mawere, wait. All you have to do, Mr. Mawere, right now is to give me time. And listen.
But can you also appreciate that I don't have? I was not supposed to be hosting this show.
Okay, but let me. I have to say something now because Mr. Mawere, in all due respect, right? The guy's in hospital. When you're in hospital, you can get called suddenly to go for some kind of meeting or checkup or whatever. So to play now Mukoma Masimba is not really fair because of his situation right now. It seems I've heard you say so many times like I wasn't supposed to be here. Yeah, but you're here now, and we have a platform.
I also have other things to do.
But you always keep interrupting, and you keep keep directing the conversation how you want the conversation to go. Now,
because
Simba couldn't come. Now there's all these people who are logging in, who are tuning in. We have many things we want to talk about, but you keep directing us and telling us to no, that's not the conversation, and no, this is not it. Let us just talk. You know, me and my
what I'm
husband.
saying is,
We go, no, wait, but
can
wait.
you host it? Can you host it so that we have?
You know what? Me, like I've been trying to
Mr.
tell
Mawere.
you, me and my husband, we are on a lot of these YouTube channels. Even some guys from England, and they log on every Monday with Jedi, and people just log on. The guy's kind of in charge, but he just lets people talk. Sometimes he even logs off, he's gone, but people are talking for like 10 hours,
We do, yeah.
14 hours,
We do
15
24
hours.
24 hours
So
sometimes.
you, Mr. Mawere, you have a beautiful platform right now. You really, really do have a beautiful platform, and I'm very grateful that you started it. But let it flow. Let people log in and talk about whatever
Thank
they
you.
want to talk about. But you keep like directing it in what you want to talk about.
I
And
don't have.
Simba didn't show up. It's
I
unfortunately
don't have
I agree.
24 hours, unlike you.
you're interrupting. You're being very rude, to be honest now.
No, I'm saying, but you are also being rude. You want me to give you the time that I don't have.
No, no. What I'm saying, I'm trying to give you advice because we have a lot of experience on YouTube. We spend a lot of time on YouTube, and we have a lot of experience with these kinds of platforms. We're just trying to advise you, as in you have a beautiful thing going on. So you
And
know, don't ruin it.
frankly, please hear me as well. I don't have the time.
Then if you don't have the time, you say you don't have the time. You log off
Yeah,
and you
that's
let.
what I'm saying. I want to end the conversation so that those who are interested, I'm not stopping you. I
So
have
now,
no.
if you want to end it because your time is gone, then again now, is you are feeding your ego, not
Yeah,
the community. It's no longer
right.
about the community. It's
No,
now about you now.
right.
Yeah, but I'm saying is I can only do so much. I'm saying is if somebody else can do it, we
We
can
will
open.
gladly
You
take
can go
over.
take over, Mr.
We'll gladly
Mawere.
take
You can
over.
log
I can be
out.
the secretary.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be
why somebody else, if we are structured, somebody else can start it and end it. So that
But how
I
can we
Uh,
be
uh,
structured if you don't give
can
people chance to
no,
flow
I'm
in
saying is
can I?
you can open because right now I'm on StreamYard, but you can have a Facebook Live. It doesn't stop you. It doesn't. I don't have to be in every
No,
conversation.
but I mean, we're not trying to
I think
Mr.
disrespect.
you've
Mawere
missed the
will
point.
respect you.
We respect you a lot for what
Can I?
you're doing.
Can I?
Don't take it the wrong way, but we're just saying like this platform could be
And
so
we
much
understand you
more.
that you don't have the time, Mr. Mawere.
Yeah, fair
Right.
enough.
But then don't be afraid with the look, my children, I've opened up this platform, I have got things to do. I'm going. You go, Mr. Mawere, you find us here.
But I have to end I have to end it here because I'm hosting it on a different platform. So I have to end it. If I'm gone, then you won't see it. I'm not.
Can I
I'm not from.
possibly?
I'm not from
Yeah,
Facebook Live. I'm on
may I
StreamYard. So I have to end the broadcast so that you can start a new one.
may you allow me to disinfect the discussion so we can start on a new page? Um, eh, I'll just say my few words. We all have a responsibility, an equal responsibility to build what I think this could be probably a communication center. Mr. Chimeza, allow me to say, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but bridging the gap is one of my subject of interest. I think it's not so much about the older people having let us down, but we have our reservations. The older people are complaining about the younger generation, and the younger generation, they've got a lot of grievances on the older generation. So I think approaching it positively. If you allow me, let's have this culture of saying we have a generation gap, and we should bring issues on table so that we can hear each other, because the gap is widening, because the younger generation, they're doing their own stuff. The older generation, they're doing their own stuff. So I think embracing a problem and not necessarily saying the older people are to blame, and the older people saying the
No,
younger
look,
people
sorry,
have
sorry,
lost their
sorry,
mind. I think
I
it's
just
high
want to
time
say,
we table
Senor,
this as I mean this way as
Senor, I'll just like to
we
chime in.
have
I'll
a
just like to
problem,
chime in.
a community problem.
I just
There
like
is
to chime
something
in.
that is stopping us from yes.
Mr. Signor, I'd just like to chime in on this one, Signor. Go on. This is Moro just speaking. Isusuka, we have got time on our side because we are the younger generation.
Go ahead.
And how we are grooming our children
Go
is
ahead.
different from how they groomed us. So it also is a younger generation. The feeling cannot be removed that you failed us because of what we are inheriting today. These are the facts on the ground. And it's what
And
you
what we are
inherited from Smith and
Yeah.
what we are inheriting from you. It's not two totally different institutions. And what we have to do, is as the younger generation, is to unite and move forward. Because the thing is, Imimi, as your generation, you failed to come to a resolution that you could pass on to us. A simple agreement. No.
and that generation is compressing evolution because they want us to believe iwo makuriro vakaita magariro vakaita, of which we were brought and raised different eras. Now this is 2020.
Mr. Chimeta, I would like to allow me to say something.
But Senor, I need to leave because I got a commitment. So
Mr.
what I
Chimeta,
can
allow
do,
me to say something in your
No,
favor.
wait,
It's not. It's a coincidence.
Can you wait for Mr. Mawere to
yeah, can
Yeah.
I
Yes.
suggest that a Senor
Let me just finish. Just
Orochimeza,
30 seconds.
you
30
open.
seconds. Uh,
Uh,
Mr.
uh,
Chimeta,
no, Senor,
Mr.
can
Chimeta,
I end the because I'm broadcasting on StreamYard, so I have to end the broadcast so that you can then host it, and then you can,
Baba.
yeah.
yeah.
Can I just
No,
say my
I'm
summary in 1 minute?
no, there's
Summary
nobody.
of words in 1 minute.
It's on my
Can I just summarize?
it's on my
Mr. has to go.
PC.
Mr.
Yeah,
Mawere has to go, and then we agree on what. Mr.
yeah. You
Mawere,
can
Mr.
proceed.
Mawere has to go, and then we agree. Mr. Mawere has to go, and then we agree what. I wanted to just say these few words before Mr. Mawere goes. We have to embrace the problem, Mr. Chimeza. It's not. It's a coincidence that I'm in the middle. What I mean by that, the 70 people born in 1970 upwards, believe you me, we are going to talk about it deeper. They are the people who are going to take these problems forward. But having said that, the older people need younger people. The younger people need the older people. There are
Right
a
now,
lot of annoying things that the older people are doing. There are a
right
lot of
now,
things, annoying things that the younger generation are doing. On that note, just to also be reasonable, Ms. Mawere wants to leave, but I just thought I should uh, put those words to say, if we are to discuss objectively to find solutions, sometimes we just have to pretend and focus on the problems more than pointing fingers at each other. But you are right, Mr. Chimeza, and the older people also have the rights to say, you guys, young generation, you are failing us. And by the way, I'm not in the younger generation bracket. I'm not in the older generation bracket. But I think this is going to be a very interesting topic.
thank you.
All right, no, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so
Mawere.
much.
You know,
All
you
right.
are a beautiful